So we learned about if else. So in order to practice if else, we will see few of the examples and you have to practice on yourself in order to get expertise on it. Okay. So function if is even or odd checks if input number is even or odd using percentile operator in JavaScript. Okay. So with the like answer as well they have given us, but we will be just checking the question only as of now. Okay, check if number is even or odd. Okay, as of now what we'll do, we will check the given number is even or odd. Okay, so for example, as of now we have not learned about functions, but still I'll write a function so that it's a good practice. Okay, so I'm writing a function. The function how we'll write is, will in JavaScript it will be function followed by the function name. Okay, is even or odd. So so before writing all this we have to understand what is even and what is odd, right? So we know that uh, 2 is a even number, 4 is even, 6 is even, or right, and 1 is odd, 3 is odd. Okay, and 5 is odd. So if you see here, it is getting multiplied by 2. Okay, it is getting exactly divided by 2. Even numbers are exactly getting divided by 2, and odd numbers are not getting divided. So what happens if you divide this any number with 2? Okay, for example, 2 by 2, like 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, right? So if you divide any number, the remainder is 0 here, right? And if you divide here, like if you divide, yeah. So if you divide these numbers, for example, if you try to divide 3 with 1, okay. So if you try to divide with 3 by 1, so 3 by 1, 3 by, uh, if you divide 3 with 2, so actually it will be 1.5. Okay, but how we have to do it, like we have to use a reminder operator. So if you use reminder, so reminder operator is percentile in JavaScript, which we already know. So the percentile operator, what it will do is, after dividing it exactly, like for example, uh, 2 ones are 2, right? So so how we know like what is reminder. So after dividing, what is remaining, that is a reminder. So for example, instead of 3, I will take 7. Okay, so I know 2 to the 4, 2 to the 4, and 2 3 is a 6, and 2 4 is a 8. So 8 is exceeding. So I'll take the previous one, 2 3 is a 6. So 6 is nearer to it, and 7 minus 6 is 1, right? So that is the remainder. So as of now, I don't have whiteboard to show like how we do the remainder, like in like primary classes we might have learned what is remainder, right? So the same way here, the percentile operator will give us the remainder. So for any of the odd number, the remainder will be 1, and for any of the even numbers, okay. So for example, 4 is 4 divided by 2, or 4 percentile 2. A 4 percentile 2 means it will be always 0, because it's exactly getting divided by 2, right? So we know the logic now. So if it is any odd number gets divided by 2, we'll be getting the remainder as 1, and if it is any even number is getting divided by 2, we are getting 0. Okay, so for example, I am writing a function and I'm expecting a number. Okay, so which number? So any number. So for it we have to tell if it is even or odd, right? So for example, I am checking like first I'll take the reminder. Okay, rem is the reminder, num percentile 2. Okay, so num percentile 2, it will be returning the value either 0 or 1. So if it is an even number, it will be 0. Remainder will be holding 0. Okay. And if it is odd, it will be 1, right? So the same way, if reminder is equals to 1, then like we'll just print in 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 JavaScript. In order to print, we'll be using console.log. Okay, given number is odd. Otherwise, directly in else we can write, because either it can be a even number or odd number. Okay, if you want to check if it exactly, like if the reminder equals to 0, then console.log given number is even. So in order to execute this, I need to call this function. So regarding functions, we'll know in depth whenever we come to functions. Okay. So as of now, I'm just calling this function and passing the parameter as any number like 77. Okay. So I'm calling this is even or odd and passing as 77. If I run it, okay, so there is some error where, so it is showing exactly here. What is the error? I have forgot to add, like put this closing bracket. So for any of the statement, if there is a, like here I have opened this bracket and I have to close this bracket as well. Okay, so I have forgot, and so that's why I'm getting this error. So I have kept this. So let's check. Okay, so I got the output as given number is odd. Why? Because it's an odd number, right? So is there any doubts here? Anyone? I'm considering everyone understood. Okay. So the same way you can practice all other questions as well, and let me know if you have any other doubts. Okay. So this is about if else. You can practice on your own, okay, so that you will know. And next we'll go for loops. Okay. Logical operators. Did we complete? Yes, we completed logical operators. We don't need knowledge coalescing operator. We don't use. We'll go for loops. Okay. So loops are nothing but, for example, let me open any editor. So for example, if I have to print from 1 to 10 or 1 to 100, how we will be writing generally? We can write each of the print statements so that it will be printing. Okay, but if there is any repetitive mechanism, it's there, like 1, 2, 3, or I have to print the odd numbers, or I have to print the even numbers, which has some logic, but I have to do some repetitive job by looping something. Looping means like iterating, or looping means I have to do the same thing again and again with slight logic. Okay, so that is loops. Okay, so whenever we need repeat actions, we have to use loops. Okay, for example, I'll write console.log of 1 and console.log of 2. So same print statement I'm doing, but with different values. So it's a repetitive thing. Okay, so if you know the loops, we can directly do like with less code, and it will be easy to read as well. So, for example, what we have to do. So while is a one type of loop, and there is do while and there is a for loop. Okay, three types of loops are there. So while is something. So until this condition is there. Okay. So if it condition until its condition fails, this particular code within this block will be executing. Okay. Uh, for example, let's check the example which is given here. Okay, where I equals to 0. So first I will be 0. Okay. So is I less than 3? Yes, I is less than 3. Okay, so it will be running. So alert I means I has 0 now. Okay. So it will be showing 0 as an output, and then I plus plus. I plus plus means incrementing 0 by 1. That means it became 1, and is 1 is less than 3. Yes, 1 is less than 3. So I'm printing 1, and 1 became 2 here. Is 2 is less than 3? Yes, 2 is less than 3. So I'm printing 2 here, and this 2 became 3 after this statement. Okay, is 3 less than 3? No. So the code execution stops here. So you have to understand here like how while works. So until this condition fails, this keeps on running. Okay, so let's check like is it printing properly or not. So first we got 0. Why? Because the initially value of I is 0, and then after clicking on OK, what will happen? It will be executing the next statement. Okay. So next statement is I plus plus. I will become 1, and it will check what if 1 is less than 3. Yes, 1 is less than 3. So it will be printing 1 next. Okay. The same way it will be printing 2. And the 2 becomes 3. And is 3 less than 3? No, right? That's why it will be failing this particular condition, and it will stop executing. Okay. Is there any doubts here? Okay. So let's see few of the examples using while. Otherwise, I'll just go through all this. Then we will be seeing few examples. Okay. So there is a do while as well. Okay. Do while means so as of now, what we are doing? First, we are checking the condition right here. If this condition gets passed, then only we will be executing this block of code. But in do while, what we'll be doing first, we'll be executing this block of code, and then we will be checking the condition. So that's why do something and then while. That means first we'll be doing or executing whatever in this block of code, then we'll be checking for this condition. Okay. So the same example we will be seeing here. First I equals to 0. So what is the need of do while when we have while is, so we will be having some cases where at least once that particular code has to execute. Okay, in those cases we'll be using do while. Okay, so first what we are doing, alert I. Okay, it is 0, and then it became 1. Okay, so 1 is less than 3. Yes, right. Then it became like will print 1. Okay, it became 2. Is 2 less than 3? Yes. Then it will become 3, right? So is 3 less than 3? No, right? So we'll stop at the same 2. So the difference between while and do while is, for example, the same code I'll be trying to execute with different values. Okay, I'll show you. I'll take this example. So in this editor, I guess alert is not working. Let's check in console only. Okay. If you are using Windows, you can use Control Shift J directly to open the console. Okay. So for example, let's print this. First, we will be showing 0, then 1, then 2, right? 0, 1, 2. Okay. The same code. If I put 3 here, okay, will it work? I initially is 3. Let me replace with var so that we won't get some message. Okay. So var is initially 3. So what will be the output? Just guess. Anyone can speak, or you can ping in chat. I want to know what will be the output. Can anyone tell me what will be the output of this code? Like initially, I'm initializing var to 3, and here I'll be checking the condition. If it gets passed, then only this block of code will be running. Anyone, even if it is wrong, it's okay. Just message me privately. I'm just waiting for the responses.
Output will be 6, right?
I want to know how the output will be 6.
First, I less than 3. 3 less than 3 will be not run.
Okay.
And other than check I 3 plus 3.
So where is 3 plus 3 which we have
Like first condition, 3 less than 3 will check and it's null.
Okay, 3 less than 3 won't pass, right? That
Okay.
you know. Okay.
And
So,
then next check I plus, right? I plus plus.
it is not a check. So let me explain once again. So while this condition, this is the block of code, right? So it is starting from here and it is closing here. Okay.
Okay.
3 less than 3 gets true, then only this block of code will be running. Is 3 less than 3? No, right? 3 is not less than 3. We know 3 is equal to 3, right? So if 3 is less than 3, won't pass, right?
Yes.
So as it won't pass, nothing will be running as part of this block of code.
Okay. I
Okay,
understand.
so we won't get any output.
I got it.
Okay, so only when this condition gets passed, this block of code will be running. Let's check and execute. Okay. We are getting this because we have already used it. Let me refresh. And then, okay, I have executed this code, but I am not getting any of the output. Let me try to execute once again. Why? Because this particular condition is not satisfied and this block of code is not running. Okay. So in while or if, and like in while until the condition gets executed, we'll be getting the output. For example, if I keep 1, now tell me what will be the output. I is 1.
Condition is true. code will be execute.
I didn't get what will be the output. Just take your own time and
So the output will be 1 and it will print 1, 2.
yes, that will, yeah, that's right. So we have to understand how this code runs first. So initially I is 1, right? So here we will be checking is 1 less than 3. Yes, 1 is less than 3. So what we are doing this, if it is true, then we'll be running this block of code. What is in this? So we are showing 1 as a output. Alert means just consider it as a output as of now. So we are showing 1. Then what is this particular code will be doing is I plus plus means I equals to I plus 1. The meaning of I plus plus is I equals to I plus 1. That means it increments whatever the value. If it is 1, it will be doing 2. If it is 2, it will be 3. If it is 5, it will be 6. So it will be incrementing the value by 1. So now what is the value of I became after this statement? So initially I was 1. After this statement, I became 2. Then again, it will go here and check whether 2 is less than 3. Yes, 2 is less than 3. So we are printing 2, right? So then what we are doing, we are incrementing I with 1. So I became 3 here. So then again, we will be checking is 3 less than 3? No, right? So the output will be 1 and 2 only. Okay. 1 and 2. So anyone has any doubts here? Ankababu or Govardhan? Pujan?
No.
Did you understand how it works?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let's go to the previous example only. 3. Okay, I equals to 3. Because 3 is less than 3, it won't pass. Okay. But here I want to execute even if it is 3. What we'll be doing here? What are the changes what we can make so that I want this particular while loop to be run even if it is 3. So I want to run for everything less than 3, and even if it is 3, I want to run this particular while block. What we can do the changes so that I want to make it run even if it is 3. So what are the changes I have to do here?
I less than or equal to.
Can you please once again speak? I heard, but I want to hear
I
clearly.
less than or equal to 3 in the while condition.
Yes, that's right. So here, as of now, we are checking I less than 3 only. So we can make this condition of I less than or equal to 3. So in any of the programming languages, we will be having this particular kind of syntaxes where if I is less than or equal to 3. Okay. So you have to know, like if you write like this, what is means is I is less than or equal to 3, right? So the same thing, how we can write differently is I is less than 3 or I is equal to 3. So the same thing in one statement of how we can write is I less than or equal to 3. Less than or equal I less than 3 or I equal to 3. The same condition how we can write is I less than or equal to 3. The same way for greater than or equal to, after greater than equal to you can put. So here we can give the condition of I less than or equal to 3 so that it will even run if it is I is 3, right? So now the output became 3, right? Okay. So let's stick to the same example where I is less than 3. Okay. So now what we'll be doing, so we have the requirement even if any value is given. Okay, I value can be anything. Then we have to execute that particular code at least once. So in those cases, what we can do, we can use do while. So how do while runs is, as we have seen this example. So what do while will be doing is, first we'll be running this block of code for the first time, and then we'll be checking for the condition. Okay. But in while, what we are doing, first we are checking the condition in while, and then we are running the block of code, right? So let's see if the same code I'll convert into do while, what will happen? Let's check. I'll just cut this code and I'll put do here. And I'm just writing do while. So here what is do while will be doing? It will be check. It will be running this block of code. That means I equals to 3 and I became like I is 3 and I became 4, and it will be checking is 4 less than 3. No, right? So whatever the value of I, it will be alerting. So it is 3, right? Is everyone got how it is running?
Can you repeat?
So how do while runs is, first it will be executing this block of code. That means I equals to 3, it will be printing 3, and here I became 4, and after I became 4, it will check is 4 is less than 3. 4 is not less than 3, so it will stop running this particular loop. Okay, so we'll just exit and we'll only show I as 3 as output. So you have to compare with the previous code, for example. So this is while, right? So while what it is doing, it is directly checking is 3 less than 3 here. So here 3 is not less than 3. So even if I execute this code, I won't get any output. I didn't get any output. Why? Because I'm checking the condition first. 3 is less than 3. No, right? So that's why I'm not getting any output here. But in do while, what we'll be doing is, first we'll be executing this block of code, and then I'm checking for these conditions. Okay. So first I'm executing this block of code. So what is in this block of code? So first I'm printing or showing as an alert as 3, and then I'm incrementing. So incrementing means I became 4 here. So is 4 less than 3? No, right? So that's why it didn't repeat the code. Why? Because it failed. Okay. So what will be the output if I execute this code? It will be 3 only. So let me just change something here, and let just tell me the output. Okay. So what will be the output now? So I have changed I to 2. What will be the output?
Output would be only 2.
Output will be 2 and 3.
I want more responses. I want everyone to speak. Yeah, I'll tell the output later, but I want everyone to give the answer.
Output will be only 2.
Yeah, anyone else?
Output will be 3, I think.
Okay. Can anyone explain why they think output will be 2 or output will be 2, 3 or
No,
output will be,
code won't run.
oh my. Okay. So what this block of code will be, first in do while, how we have to understand is, first this block of code will be running, right?
Yes,
So whenever this block of code is running, what is the value of 2? What is the value of I?
I two.
Okay, I is 2. So it should show 2 as an output first. Okay. Output. Okay. It should show output as 2 first. And then what is this particular I plus plus statement is doing? It is incrementing I by 1. That means I became, now what is the value of I? Initially it
2
was
plus
2.
1,
Yeah. So 2 plus 1 is 3, right?
3.
So after this statement, here we'll be checking, is 3 less than 3?
3.
Is 3 less than 3? Is 3 less than 3? No,
No.
right? So here we'll be stop executing this particular block of code. So the output, whatever we got as of now, is only 2.
2.
So let's try to execute this and check. We got only 2, right? So let me just change something here and tell me what will be the output. Just ping me in chat privately. So I is 0 now. I want what will be the output. Ping me in chat privately. So I got few of the responses. Okay. So so first, what is I? I'm just, what here I'm doing, I'm just printing whatever it is there, right? So alert means it's output, right? So what is I? 0 is I, right? So I'll get 0 first. And here what I'm doing, I'm incrementing it. So I became 1 here. Okay. So let's I is 1 here now. Okay. So is 1 less than 3? Yes, 1 is less than 3. And after coming here, what is the first statement? I'm printing it. So what is I value? It is 1. So I'll get 1. And next I plus plus. So 1 will become 2 here. Okay. Is 2 less than 3? Yes, 2 is less than 3, right? So what I'll be printing here? I'll be printing 2. Okay. So, and next, what after printing 2, 2 became 3. So is while like 3 less than 3? No, right? So I'll be getting the output as only 0, 1, 2 here. Okay. Let's check whether it is correct or not. So first I got 0 and then 1 and then 2. Okay. So is everyone got, or if are there any doubts here? Are there any doubts?
Like Sunil, if I want to print all the three, iterations into one alert, is it possible?
I'm not getting exactly. Could you speak again?
So now we got the output 0, 1, 2, right? Step by step pattern.
Yes.
While loop is iterating, for every iteration we got one output and it is showing in different colors. So can we print all the iterations into one alert?
Can we?
Print all the iterations, like all the outputs into one alert. Here.
One array.
One alert.
In only one alert we can do that. So that we'll be doing when we learn about arrays. Okay.
Okay.
Because we have to push to that array and then we can print that array. As of now, I'm just making it simple so that everyone can understand. Okay. When we learn about arrays, then we can push each of the element to the array and then we can show that. But as of now, I'm just making it simple. I'm just tweaking this example. So I'm just removing this I plus plus and keeping here. Just tell me what will be the output. Bring me soon. Just go through it and just ping me the output. Others also ping me so that I can cover the next topics as soon as possible. Let me tell the exam what will be the output here, right? So first I is 0. What I am doing here, I'm incrementing 0 by 1. That is I equals to I plus 1, right? So I'm printing here. So I'm printing, that means I'm printing 1 because first I was 0 and I became 1 here. After coming here, I became 1 because we are incrementing. And then alert is, it will be showing 1 first. Okay. And then I'm checking 1 is less than 3. Yes, 1 is less than 3. Again, go here. 1 will become 2 and I'll be showing 2. Okay. And is 2 less than 3? Yes, 2 is less than 3. Here I will be going and I'll be 3 here, right? Is 2 is less than 3? Yes, 2 is less than 3 and here I will be 3. Okay, so then we are printing 3 here, right? So after printing 3, it will check whether 3 is less than 3. No, right? So the output will be 1, 2, 3. Let me check if it is right or not. 1, to 3. Okay. Srujan or Govardhan, any doubts here?
No, sir.
Okay, just read through it, how it executes.
Okay.
So the same things we'll try to do in for as well. We can like, and whenever you are writing while loops, you should make sure that you this particular, for example, I wrote here I is as, for example, I less than 3, and the input is, for example, I is less than 3, right? For example, if it is 100, what will be the output? 100 is less than 3, right? So here I'll be keep on printing and incrementing it. So for example, if I is 4 here, is 4 less than 3? No, it won't print. But for example, in some cases, so if these particular conditions, if you don't write properly, for example, how people will write is, I'm checking for infinite loop scenario where it will be always true. For example, I is t, and instead of plus plus, I is 4 and 4 less than 3, no, right? Instead of it, I'll be using greater than. Okay, is 4 greater than 3? Yes, and I'll be incrementing it, right? So what will be the output in this case? Tell me. Just tell orally. I'll tell you like what will be the effect of it if you use it.
If it is like this, maybe it will be, I mean, keep on continuously giving the numbers, whatever. I think so.
Yeah, first it will be checking 4 is greater than 3. Yes, 4 is greater than 3. And I will be printing 4 and it will become 5. And is 5 greater than 3? Yes. So we are making it to increment every time and it won't stop, right? It won't stop at all. It will be keep on going and going and going. Okay. Why? Because I have kept this condition wrong. Okay. So in these cases, if you write like these conditions, what will happen? Your ServiceNow instance or your browser, if you're writing in any web application, that won't open or it will be crashing. Okay, because the all the compiler will be embedded to this particular code only because it will be continuously running. Even if I try to execute this code now, my Chrome will, I have to close the Chrome and 1 second I have to open it because it won't let me do anything, right? Okay, so if we use alert, it's fine because it won't stop the issue, like it won't do that. But if we use console.log, it will keep on doing that. Okay, I'll just try it. What will happen? It became 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's keep on coming, right? 13, 14. So it will be infinitely coming. Okay, until and unless I close this, it won't let me use this. Okay. So for alert, until and unless I click on OK, the next statement won't work. But instead of alert, if I use console.log, okay, it is dual, right? Open while one. Okay, for example, 4 and greater than 3. Okay, so if instead of alert, if I use console.log, it won't ask you to click OK or something. So in these cases, what will happen? We'll check. So it is keep on printing 1800, 2000, 6000, 7000, 14,000. Okay. So my system will crash if I don't close this after some time. Okay. So it's keep on increasing. Okay. So you should be mindful whenever you are writing the conditions. Okay. So if you, if you like for loop, we mostly use for loop. Let's know what is for loop, and it's initially looks bit complex, but if you get used to it, it will be easy. Okay. So how the for loop will be running is, first we will be initializing the value. This particular block of code will only run once. Okay, which is we are just giving I to some value. I am just making this I value to 0. Okay, and then this particular condition will run. Okay, the same thing which we have done in while, the same thing we are trying to do the same thing here as well. Okay, so here we are checking the condition. Okay, so after this checking this condition only, this block of code will be run, and after this block of code, this particular increment operation will be happening. So let's check one by one how this particular statement will be running. The begin. So let equals to 0 executes once only once when it enters for loop. Okay, and then it will be checking for the condition. Okay, so you shouldn't go for I plus plus now only. You should execute this particular block of code, and after executing this block of code, this particular I plus plus will be running. That means I became 1. Okay, after 1, it will be again checking if 1 is less than 3. No, right? So I'll just compare it with while loop. Okay, so that it will become easier for you guys. So for example, so here what I'm doing, here I'm initializing I to 1 and then checking the condition and then running something, and then I'm incrementing. Okay, so the same code here also it's do the same thing. Okay, so here first I'll be incrementing, and then 0 less than 3, no. So here also we are checking the condition, and here also we are checking the condition. 0 less than 3, yes. So what we'll be doing here, we are printing this. So printing 0, and then we are incrementing. Okay, here whatever we do, the same thing here as well we are doing, incrementing it. And after incrementing, again we'll be checking the condition here, right? The same thing we are doing here. Okay, it's just upon practice we'll know. So but like if you are okay to use while, you can use, but it'll be more handy to use because you don't have to write here and here each time. You can write in the single statement the initialization and the condition checking and incrementing. Okay, so after running this block of code, you should run this, and then you should check the condition. So both are same, while and for, but here the same things are happening with different syntax. Okay, it will also print the same thing, 0 1 to 0 1, right? So any doubts here?
No, Sunil.
Okay, so one tricky question I want to ask here. I'll just console.log. Right. So just tell me, I'm not printing anything. What will be the output of I here?
it will be 0.
No, it won't be 0. Okay. So first, what we are doing, we are initializing to 0. 0 less than 3. Yes. What I value became 1. 1 less than 3. Yes. 1 became 2. Is 2 less than 3? Yes. Then 2 became 3, right? So is 3 less than 3? No. Right? So what here we are doing? We are printing I. So what is the value of I? It is 3, right? So it just printed 3. Condition won't pass, but I'm using the console.log not inside this. I'm printing the console.log outside of it, right? So whatever the value of I, it will be printing here, right? Any doubts in this code?
No.
Okay. I'm just stopping.